Welcome to Small Town Big Gays, everybody. We are the aforementioned gays who are too big, both physically and in homosexuality, for how small of a town we are in. I'm Chance.
I'm Travis.
How are you this cold, miserable day?
I'm pretty good. I'm a little tired, but good. How about you?
I'm freezing.
Yeah.
Can you tell from my cold open?
Yeah. You've been bitching about it since the moment you walked in.
Well, I'm sorry. You tried to lock me out of your home.
Is that not a normal response to you?
It really is. I get locked out of my home often, sometimes by my own husband, on accident, but...
You sure?
No, not entirely.
I wouldn't be either.
Right up top, one thing. There were multiple things, but I can't remember what multiple are. If you are listening to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you get your podcast, just know you could be watching this podcast if you so chose on YouTube. And if you do regularly watch this on YouTube, you might have noticed that our channel has changed a little bit, and the rest of the branding will be coming soon. That is because this week I'm officially launching the production company Strangehaven Studios. So our YouTube channel will be changing to Strangehaven Studios how many times do you think I can say Strangehaven Studios in this?
Probably quite a bit.
Couple more. So the YouTube channel is changing the branding. Second podcast is launching on the network, which is Slay What, a horror podcast hosted by Bree and Ariel. And yeah, so more to come, more projects. We have some other ones in the works. I have some ones in the works.
Lots more to come.
Lots more to come. So you can go to strangehavenstudios.com and see all that shit. So
yeah, I think you should watch us on YouTube so then people can tell me what I should do with my hair. Because I'm having an identity crisis at the moment.
You're a professional hairstylist.
Yeah, but that's because I spend all day telling other people what to do with their hair that I don't want to tell myself what to do with mine.
I wish you would tell me what to do with mine.
Grow it.
Tried that. Looked really bad. Was planning on bleaching my hair, and then it. I
grow.
decided I'm far too bald for that versus how bald I was like 3 years ago when I bleached my hair the first time. You also have like a little thing,
cockatoo thing
on the front. You little.
We're just gonna let it be.
All right.
It's just let go, let God today.
So comment below what Travis should do with his hair, because he needs help.
I do need help. So a random thing. If you guys haven't listened to our interview on WPR yet, you should do so, because that was pretty fun. But through that, we've been getting some other opportunities coming along our way, and Chance and I have been spending a lot of time together. And he's being forced to be my friend now, which I think is great for him, because anyone who gets to be my friend is pretty lucky.
I needed to expand my network anyway, so because your network is your net worth.
True. Very true.
Mine went up significantly since we started hanging out.
And I'm worth nothing.
Slightly more than me.
True. I'll always have that to hold on to.
Yeah.
But in this, we just did an interview. What did you call it? A media
appearance.
A media appearance.
Yep.
That's how we're going to make ourselves sound really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And we were driving out to this place and we were kind of convinced that maybe we were being bamboozled into being killed, which would have been much better for the podcast, honestly.
Yeah.
Or at least if like Chance would have died. Because I think you would have been the one to die, because I would have definitely like pushed you or made you something. You would have been the one to die.
I mean, that's fair, but I expect nothing less. But then who would do all the production for the podcast?
No one. This would die with you.
Okay.
So
see, if you died, I would just continue to milk it. We've talked about this on the show before.
Yeah. I mean, I could try and do it like without you and like speak to you through a Ouija board.
That would be sick.
Yeah. But anyways, so we were driving out there to, it wasn't really the country, but it's country enough for me.
It was pretty much out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. And this van was stopped in the middle of the road, directly in the middle of the road. and the like driver was like outside facing us, and I thought maybe he was like going to shoot us, but
I really did too for like a brief moment.
It was really awkward. And then I was like, oh no, he's just taking a piss. Yeah, just right there.
And then he hopped in his car when he saw us driving, which I'm surprised he didn't like cut off the stream and do sooner, because like we got somewhat close to him before he actually did it.
Yep.
And then he had no choice. It was on like an unplowed country road, so he had no choice but to keep going forward.
Yeah.
And then he pulled into a driveway to turn around because he was embarrassed.
Yeah.
Didn't want us to see where he lived.
Yep. Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah, that was nice. And you can check out that interview on it was on a show called Spirit in Action on Northern Spirit Radio, so we will post links in the episode description, and if it is not out by the time this episode premieres, check out our Instagram and Facebook, and we'll post it there.
It was a good interview, and that was fun.
It was nice. Mark was a great guy. Very, very nice Quaker man. So, yeah.
I wanted to ask you a controversial opinion.
Okay.
Of if you could, never mind. No. What is like one, I guess, I don't know, person, maybe celebrity or something or thing that you think is overrated?
Overrated celebrity. Other than the obvious, which would be Taylor Swift. Sorry, Amber Hudson. Love you. That just feels too obvious though, because
I also saw a TikTok today where a woman was saying that she thinks Taylor Swift got breast implants.
Really?
Do you think it's true?
I could see it, but like that's not really her brand. I feel like her fans, I feel like that ruins the authenticity.
Yeah, which is why she's not talking about it, but just did it.
The very fake authenticity of Taylor Swift, in my opinion.
Ooh,
we're gonna get so many controversial
opinions.
I mean, I haven't looked up pictures of Taylor Swift's breasts recently, but
maybe you should.
Should I right now? Taylor Swift breast implants. Let's just do a quick Google.
What if she does?
Good for her, honestly. You know, if you want bigger tatas, get bigger tatas. If you want smaller tatas, get smaller tatas. Fuck what any men think.
If you don't want them, get rid of them too. Yep.
Taylor Swift breast implants 2024. No official confirmation or denial, but you know what? Her boobs are looking bigger. Yeah, I think she might have gotten breast implants. Or, you know, once you hit a certain age, you know, you start getting more fatty tissue on there. You just wear a nice push-up bra, and Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
Do you have an Uncle Bob?
I had a great Uncle Bob who was really creepy. He
Why is he creepy?
Well, he would always take pictures at like family events, and like he wouldn't even necessarily like say anything to you. He'd just like come up and start taking pictures of you. And one time he was doing it, I think it was at my cousin's wedding, and he was taking pictures of everyone. Like, and mind you, it wasn't like a professional camera or anything. It was just like a pretty mediocre camera. And then he printed them off for everyone and like mailed them to everyone. But when he mailed the pictures, they had like frames around them of like hearts with diamonds that you were in. Like it was like a filter thing. It was so weird.
See, that's the part that makes it weird, not necessarily the going around taking pictures.
Oh my gosh, I just thought of this because I thought of him, which is like some family tea, which is really funny because I don't think anyone in my family really listens to this, but if they are, they'll love this. So Uncle Bob, who was married to my grandma's sister for, forever. I mean, probably at least 50, 60 years. Oh my God, I wonder if his kids listen to this. Oh well. He would message me on Facebook and like call me on Facebook a lot, like video chat, which I just thought was weird. And it was always like when I was working, I was like, I can't talk right now, Bob. Is everything okay? And like we didn't have that kind of a relationship where like it was like normal to hear from him. He'd be like, yeah, just love seeing pictures of your work. You're doing great. And I'm like, that's very sweet, you know, like nice, thank you. Then one time he sent me this picture of him. So awkward. A picture of him. And I'm just going to say it was in drag, but it wasn't. He was like, had like a headband or a wig on. but then like it had like ribbons and like braids in it. I'm guessing it was like maybe like a St. Patrick's Day celebration thing, but he also had lipstick on. And it just honestly gave me Silence of the Lambs vibes, honestly, if I'm just being completely frank. It was really uncomfortable. And I never felt...
Buffalo Uncle Bob.
Yeah. I never really felt like I could talk to my family about it because it was just so awkward.
Uncle Buffalo Bob.
So instead of, talking to the family, I'm just going to tell everyone on the podcast about it instead. And he did one other one too, where he sent me a really uncomfortable picture like that.
I wonder if it was one of those things where, we'll get back to the controversial opinions in a moment, but I wonder if it was one of those things where he maybe was a little bit closeted something or had some interest in cross-dressing, as I'm sure Great Uncle Bob would have called it, given the Great Uncle moniker. And then he sees you doing it openly, and he's, a little bit of jealousy, a little bit of pride, a little bit of trying to awkwardly tell you like, hey, I'm maybe there's something. Maybe it was just a joke.
I don't think so. I always got the vibes. I was always like, this feels like a lavender marriage to me. Mm-hmm. And then when he passed away, he left my brother and I a coin from his collection.
Do you still have it?
I do. It's not worth anything. I definitely looked that up. But yeah, I kept it. Good old Uncle Bob. He was a nice guy, just creepy.
I'm a nice guy, just creepy.
True.
Yeah.
You'll be an Uncle Bob someday.
I think I might already be an Uncle Bob.
Yeah.
I hope not, but maybe.
But we will talk about cross-dressing in a minute. So back to
controversial
opinions. Yeah. Well, it wasn't a controversial opinion.
It wasn't a controversial. It was a very widely held.
Overrated.
What do I think is overrated?
And you said Taylor Swift being one, but that was
Taylor Swift. That's too easy. Everyone thinks Taylor Swift is overrated. I think even Swifties think Taylor Swift is overrated.
I honestly don't know much about her, so I don't think she's overrated because I don't know anything about her.
I only know that she does the thing where she releases multiple versions of the same album to stay on top of the charts and cut other people out of the charts, but she got snubbed at the Grammys, so not snubbed. I guess it was just a bad album. I wouldn't know. I don't listen to Taylor Swift, so I guess I shouldn't really talk shit about Taylor Swift, should I?
Yeah, you might get killed.
I think I might get canceled.
Well, you'd have to do something worth being canceled over.
That's true. Trying. Trying to think of something. Overrated. Hand jobs.
Okay.
Actually, I think hand jobs might be perfectly rated. How do you feel about hand jobs?
I was like, are they really that high up there on the charts?
With the like proliferation of side as a position, like bottom, top, side.
Yeah.
I feel like this side, we've talked about it before, but I still don't like fully understand it. You just like don't do penetration of the anal variety, or is like oral still on the table? Or
oh yeah, oral's for sure still on the table.
That makes more sense, because every time I see side, I'm just like, this guy really likes getting hand jobs. That's boring. Or when guys like hit you up on Grindr and they're like, oh, looking for a jerk off, bud. Why? I would just do it myself.
I don't know. There's something thrilling about like the sensation of someone else touching you somewhat.
I guess for me, it has to be in a kinkier situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, some of us don't have to have that.
Lucky you.
Some of us grew up with normal childhoods. Not me, so.
I'm gonna say hand jobs are overrated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What do you think is overrated?
I don't know.
That's why you're asking me, so that you can choose one of my things so to make your own.
No, so I can just judge you based on your own opinions. Yeah, I don't know. I think like a lot. I don't know. I think a lot of things are overrated. I think Starbucks is overrated. I think Raising Cane's is overrated.
Never had.
I think living is overrated. I'm trying to think of things that like I'm like a diehard for, where like I just like I don't think I like it. If I had to pick one thing that I was like a diehard that people would tell me is overrated, would be Housewives, I think. But I'm not also like that crazy into it where I'm just like, what? But I do love it. Like I never say guilty pleasure because there's no guilt in something that brings you pleasure. But if I had to choose one that was something that was overrated that I enjoyed, that would probably be it. But I don't think that that's overrated because it's not like a,
Oh, Breaking Bad, that's overrated.
someone's getting their driveway plowed across the street.
Yeah, we'll do our best.
Don't you wish it was you getting plowed and not that driveway?
I do wish I was getting plowed across the street. Yeah, Breaking Bad is overrated, I think.
Okay, never seen it.
Yeah, me neither.
No.
No, I have. I watched the first like 2 episodes, and it's one of those things where if you have to watch, people always say you have to watch the first 4 episodes to get really into it, and then it gets really good. If you have to watch 4-hour-long episodes of a TV series for it to get good, it's a bad TV series. To start, be better. That's the thing they taught us in film school, is like you need to hook. You need to hook everyone with the first thing. And if multiple people say it doesn't get good until episode 4, then it's bad.
Yeah.
And then maybe it becomes good. But why did it get that chance in the first place?
Because it's Breaking Bad.
Because it's Breaking Bad.
Well, what made me think of overrated things is you're wearing a Gaga shirt today.
Yes, abracadabra.
Yeah.
A new single came out and I've been obsessed with it. So
Yeah,
you gonna say Gaga's overrated right now?
Okay,
Thank you for joining us on this journey
No.
of small town big gays. This will be our last episode.
Okay, here's my thing with Gaga. I do love a good majority of her music. Obviously, I love like the wardrobe, the couture. I love all of that. She obviously loves the queer community and is a strong ally for us. So there's so many like wonderful things about her. I think during like when she was like really hitting big, there was just so many people that were like so wild for her. Like I think a fandom I hadn't seen in quite a while. And I just like, I didn't get it, but I think I get it more now.
Do you remember what album it was that you're like specifically, what album cycle? Because if it was Born This Way is overrated. Most of Born This Way is trash.
No, it was
Hot take.
It was the
Love
one
you, Gaga.
Bad Romance. Which one is that?
The Fame Monster, I think.
Yeah. Because that was right after her first album, right? That was like
it was the Fame Monster.
Okay.
And then Born This Way.
Yeah.
And then Art Pop, and then was it Art Pop, Born This Way, Joanne? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. I think also like I think one thing too is like when you're a drag performer, like a lot of drag performers like pick an artist who they really like and then they kind of just like run with that, and then like no one else can really do that artist. And we had a performer in town that was obsessed with Gaga at the time, and so no one could do Gaga but them. So like I never had an opportunity to get into doing Gaga, so like there was that.
Is now a good time to tell you that when I think about doing drag for a second time, I would do
only Gaga
numbers?
No, because now I'm at the point in my drag career where someone could try and pretend that they're gonna, and then I would still do it. I also like when her perfume came out, I didn't get the hype of it, but now I'm obsessed with it and want it. Because like the black perfume, I'm like, that is an incredible idea.
I think you might just be, and this isn't shade because I'm the exact same way. I think you might just be one of the people who, as soon as something gets popular, you hate it.
Well, I don't hate it. I just don't care.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what started my hatred of Breaking Bad. And then again, I tried to watch the first 2 episodes and boring. Now I refuse to try to continue because A, I think that makes it a bad TV show. And B, straight people still won't shut the fuck up about Breaking Bad.
Maybe you just need to give it more of a shot.
Nope. I'm good.
You could probably give it as much of a shot as you did quitting smoking.
I knew this was coming and I deserve this. Literally, as I was going out for a cigarette earlier, I told my friend, I'm like, it was like an hour before I came over here. And I was just like, I'm going out for a smoke so that hopefully the smell dissipates before I get to Travis's.
Oh, don't worry. I saw it in your little bag over there on the table. Your shame pack.
I knew.
It's okay.
You know what? It's harder than heroin to quit. Katya is still struggling with it. So me and Katya, she's doing ads for some stop smoking service now. It's been a rough couple weeks with the whole being seasonally depressed and inauguration and subsequent takeover of administration, and the U.S. government is falling to pieces. And I've been busy. So giving myself grace, Gonna get back to it next week. Setting a date. Because I also fell off super hard of like my diet and all this stuff. So it's, but I've been doing really good with other stuff. So I'm not being too hard on myself.
I'm just kidding. I think it shows your vulnerability, and I am proud of you for trying. And I know you'll do it if you put your back into it. The people need to see that you're a vulnerable young man.
Yeah. I'm not, the facade is a lie.
Yeah.
The tough.
That you're just a sensitive little
tough
lad.
Butch persona. Well, it's because I'm a Scorpio Sagittarius cusp. That's why I'm like tough on the outside and huge softy on the inside. Don't bully me. I'll cry.
Yeah, I could see that. You'd be easy to make cry. Okay. Anyway, so today's subject is an interesting one, and we're going to talk about achievement-based identity. Do you know what that is, Chance?
No, I do not. Please enlighten me.
It is when you, as a person, and I feel like this is a thing that is pretty predominant in especially queer people, that you base your whole identity off of achievements. And that you don't feel like you are worthy of enough unless you've achieved great things. And we're always striving for more. I mean, obviously it's not everyone, but I feel like especially within the queer community, it is a thing, because a lot of times we probably feel like we're not enough, and like trying to compare ourselves to, heterosexual people and what that means. And by proving our achievements, we prove that we are worthy of the same level of respect as them. So, do you feel like you suffer from the achievement-based identity? And it is okay to say that you don't, and probably better that you don't. But
no, I definitely do. Yeah. I thought when you started explaining what it was, I was like, am I being read right now?
Licensed therapist,
Chloe Wold. Yeah, 100%. I mean, that always just like thought of myself as like, I'm not, especially being someone who wanted to get into media from like a young age. I think that was a huge part of that, is just like, that was a huge contributing factor to achievement-based identity syndrome, as we're going to, okay, yeah. For a hot second, I thought it spelled out AIDS.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
So stupid. Being someone who wanted to get into media from a young age, I really think that contributed to having that feeling that like, if I don't achieve something, if I don't become a famous actor, writer, or whatever, that I'm nobody. And I still definitely feel that. What do you think this podcast network is?
Yeah, but look at you working towards your goals.
Yeah, it's actually working out a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like a firm believer of like, things happen when they're supposed to happen, and if you really like are passionate about something, you'll make it happen. And through that you achieve your dreams, and then hopefully you figure out who the hell you are along the way. Not that I think my dad will ever listen to this, but if he does, well, okay. My best friend dog sits for my parents when they go on vacation a lot. And their dog my parents' dog is a really good dog. He's a very well trained hunting dog, and like my dad is like very regimented. Is that the right word? Regimented with him. And it's like, you eat at this time, you eat this many scoops of food, you sit when I tell you to sit, you do this when we do, we're going for a 4-mile run at this time. He can't be too skinny, he can't be too thin. And this is just the dog, not me.
Psycho.
But yeah, he's very regimented, which has led to my entire life of never feeling like I am good enough, because you're always reaching for something, And Shelly was talking about how much the dog loves when he gets to go over to their house, because they are not like that. It's like, do whatever you want, jump on the furniture, let's go chase bunnies.
Be a monster.
Yeah. And so he like gets just like thrilled, but he's like a lot then, because it's like,
it's all pent up.
Yeah, it's like Disneyland. So she was like talking about this dog and how he's a lot. And I was like, yeah, now you're getting a little glimpse into little Travis of why he never feels like he'll ever achieve enough in his life, and why he's always doing a million things.
Yeah. But look at you. You have accomplished a lot.
I have accomplished a lot, and there's still so much more that I want to do. I also think it's so weird that people in society think like you have to stay in one lane and like either stay there or like just do that thing your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, because like my clients will be like, oh yeah, what's new with you? And I'll be like, oh, I'm taking a stand-up comedy class. And they're like, oh, you're always doing something different. I'm like, yeah, don't you want to? Like, why would you want to
get bored?
Yeah, like, do you want to just sit and be, I don't know what they do, nurse? I don't know, like whatever their career may be. I just can't be that type of person. I'm always wanting to do something different. I'm always wanting to do different things, which is obviously probably a little bit of some mental health issues, you know, mixed in there. But I'm also the type where like, if I go for something, I like want to excel at it too. Like I want to be good at it. I know I'll never be the best at anything, but I know I'll be really good at things. And I'm okay with that.
What are you good at?
Lots of things. I am good at, I know you were going to try and get me, but I have lots of things I'm good at.
Name them. Name 5.
I'm good at wig styling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good at hair color.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good at reading people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good at lying.
Mm-hmm.
And I am good at styling.
I feel like that.
Like styling clothes.
Okay.
Like outfits together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's list things I'm bad at. I'm bad at styling.
Yep.
I'm bad at wigs.
Yep. Hairstyling.
Well, no, I'm really great at that. I mean, I found what works for me. That makes a lot of sense, though.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just something I was thinking about and how that I feel like a lot of my queer friends are very similar too. And I feel like a lot of them, I don't want to say like lost because that's not the right word, but I do feel like, I don't know, do you not notice that like as a community thing of like, I feel like I know more people who are constantly like changing their like route in life. So like things they do or interest versus like staying in one direction and not really like moving from that.
I can't say that I've noticed it prior, but now that you mention it, yeah, I do. I feel like queer people move around a lot, which I think is great because, I mean, I tried being stagnant for 7 years and then it resulted in a quarter life crisis that made me start a podcast network. So I'm kind of in that boat of like, I just want to start doing stuff because it's more fun to do stuff. There's nothing wrong if you like work the same job for 30 years and retire on it and you're happy doing, you know, the same thing day in and day out. Like, I mean, I get it.
Well, and there's always like, I feel like I hear people a lot talk about how they're always like, gay people are always traveling. They're like, how do you afford to do that? And I just like think it all kind of ties in together of like, we just have like different lifestyles, you know, and we don't like follow the heteronormative lifestyle of go to college, get your career, get married, have kids, then they have kids and you become, you know, grandparents. And
I mean, a lot of queer people later into life are single, childless, which makes it sound negative, but like single and don't have kids, or, you know, maybe you're married, maybe you're not single and you're dual income, no kids, which is fantastic from someone living that way. Actually, I have 3 kids, but they are cats.
As hairy as you.
They are as hairy as me, and it gets everywhere. But yeah, I mean, sometimes it is just they didn't follow the heteronormative traditional path, and so they have the ability to travel. And sometimes it's just credit card debt. Massive amounts of credit card debt.
Yeah, we could talk about that. Rampant
overspending
in the gay community, especially of feeling the need to put on a show for people.
Fake it until you make it.
Fake it until you make it.
Bag it until you make it.
Yeah.
Fake it until you fag it.
Faggotry. I'm sure this particular queen listens to the podcast. That's a local here, but that's fine as well. I'm just, I guess, calling everyone out today. But no, they would always, when I first met them, would always come up to me and be like, look at these new earrings I got, or like, look at this new costume I made, or look at this wig I bought. And I'd be like, okay, that's great. But like, is your rent paid? Is your insurance covered? Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't give a shit about a $5,000 wig. I mean, that's obviously exaggeration, but if you can't even afford to pay your rent, like, that's not cool.
Yeah.
I've never understood like putting your hobbies or things to make an impression to people above just living a life, you know? Cause like, I'd be much more impressed if you lived in a closet, but like your bills are paid and you're happy than like living in a 5-bedroom home and you have really nice furniture and it's all on a credit card and you're paying $9 million in interest a month and not even paying towards the things that
it's not even going towards principal.
Yeah.
It's not even the important stuff.
Yeah.
I do understand to a point the desire to run up a credit card, especially right now when, I think a lot of people, including myself, are kind of feeling like a little hopeless about the state of the world. It's just like, yeah, let's just run up credit card debt and do a bunch of shit.
Yeah, I think about that often, how I would just like, oh, I have really good credit, so I would open as many credit cards as I could at once and then just like live like, I don't know, you probably get like couple, 3 years maybe. I don't know. I don't know how long it could. I've never really thought it out, but like just give her hell.
Give her hell and then declare bankruptcy. And then it's like a clean slate.
No, kill yourself. Even better.
That works too. But if you declare bankruptcy and then you just get one of those like Amazon, this is solid financial advice coming to you from Small Town Big Gays. Hi, it's me, Chance from the future. This is not real financial advice. Don't do this. Run up a credit card. You live for 3 years. And then declare bankruptcy. Basically wipes the slate clean. No consequences. Wink. And then you get one of the Amazon cards that you can get. Well, first you're going to have to get a real job. And then you have to pay into the Amazon credit card to get the Amazon credit card. But then after a while, you don't have to pay to increase your credit card limit. And it actually does help your credit from the very beginning. So you build your credit back, go like 3 to 5 years of paying that credit card off really, really well every time. And then once you have good credit again, then you open up a bunch more credit cards, run them all up, declare bankruptcy, start from scratch.
This sounds like a path you've taken.
No, but it's a path I've thought about often. And I don't know what the logistics are of declaring bankruptcy and then getting more credit cards. I feel like the credit card companies will say no to that. But, for that first 5 years.
If anyone's a banker and investor and has any information that they can tell us of what we can get away with, please let us know for future mental breakdowns.
I'm also going to put this in the podcast. I'm going to cut this in right before I give that really good financial advice. Hi, it's me, Chance from the future. This is not real financial advice. Don't do this.
Or do.
Nor do. You're an independent person. I don't give a fuck.
You're an adult, probably.
Hey, it's Chance from the future again. Don't do this.
Yeah, I don't know. That could be fun. I would like to live frivolously.
Yeah. You're doing great.
Have
you been practicing?
Yes, in the mirror. My Stuart Smalley. Frivolously with my lisp. My gay lisp.
You don't have a lisp.
Okay.
If you have a lisp, I have a lisp. And now that you mentioned lisp, I can't unhear my lisp.
It's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, it really is.
Wow, I totally just lost track of what we were talking about.
Achievement-based identity. And the other thing I was going to say is, I also forgot what I was going to say. I had another point about achievement-based identity, but I don't remember what it was.
Do you think you're the type of person that could get to a point in your life and say, I'm happy where I'm at and I'm just going to live in this? Or are you the type that's always like reaching for more?
I think I'm probably more in the column B, reaching for more. I don't know, because I'm not like terribly unhappy with not being where I'm at. I'm pretty chill, bro.
Yeah.
That's a lie. Yeah, I think I'll probably always be reaching for the next thing. I don't know how people die happy.
It is kind of weird. The older you think of, like, the older you get, the more you think about these things. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to be old, but I'm almost there.
You're not old. You're middle-aged.
I know. That's scary. Yeah. I don't know if I'll ever get to that point either. I'm a really restless soul. I like to be doing things. I'm like, what's that teacher from Mean Girls? Miss Norbury? Norbert?
Norbury.
Yeah. I'm a pusher. I just don't like to sit around, and I don't like to see my friends just settle and sit around. Like, I feel like I just always want to push people to do more things. And
I feel like I'm always going to have some sort of project.
Yeah.
Always have. Because prior to starting all of these projects, I would always talk about projects and, the greatness I was going to achieve by doing them. But I don't think the goal for me necessarily anymore is greatness, or like, I mean, it is to a point, but like, I know I'm never going to be fucking Leonardo DiCaprio. Too old for that. I mean, he started when he was like 12.
I was like, is that something you want to be?
Sure,
predator?
yeah. I would love to be a insanely rich, handsome
Predator.
Oh, yeah, he is a predator. Hey, they're legal. Unless he did something. Did he do something?
Still.
I mean, it's creepy.
Yeah. It's weird.
It's creepy.
I don't know why. I feel like we've done a lot of talking the last few weeks with all these interviews.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I'm just a little talked out. Maybe.
Don't want to talk no more?
No, I'm done. I'm
Okay.
just kidding. I just throw the mic and leave. I'm moving on to the next thing. This is my achievement-based identity is really kicking in today, and I need to just move on.
Bored.
I'm bored with this. I can't do it anymore. I quit. Could you imagine?
Oh, God. Right when we started.
Yeah. I'm good at that.
Yeah.
Getting people's hopes up and then letting them down. Have you had any fun rendezvous lately?
I had one.
Yeah.
Back to talking about hand jobs and how they're overrated.
Mm-hmm.
I met up with this guy and he was into kink but not into like penetration, and so I just tied him up and edged him. It's just been a while since I've done that. Forgot how fun that can be.
Yeah.
Watching him squirm.
Yeah.
What about you? Have you had any fun rendezvous?
Not anything fun. Well, I did have. Well, it wasn't. I mean, it was fine. It did the job, but I went to meet a gentleman at a hotel in town, which I hate doing because it's like, what if you know the person who works the front desk or something, and you're just walking in, they know what the hell you're doing there, like, oh, just dropping a hard drive off to my coworker. I don't know. That's what I always think I'm going to say if I ever see anyone I know. Isn't that so weird? I've thought about it a lot.
Hard drive to your coworker? You're a hairstylist. You don't even know how to work a computer. No one's going to believe that.
It's what I thought of. It's my excuse. If I ever see anyone that works at a hotel, I'm going to encounter at. I'm going to say,
hi, Travis. What are you doing? I'm dropping a hard drive off a coworker. And walks away.
Well, I am dropping off a hard drive, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you are dropping off a hard drive. Anyway, hotel sex, go.
Yeah, I don't know why I've thought about that many times. Okay, so yeah. And I knew they were short based upon their profile, but like when you actually like run into someone and they're like actually like when they say 5'5", it's like, oh my,
you're a full foot taller than them.
Yeah, like you are tiny. And yeah, but still made it work and
still did it.
It was fine. It was fun. It was a good time. Then I left without the hard drive and work was good the next day. He got all the material data that I collected from the internet for our project.
Hotel sex is the best sex. Changed my mind.
You know what? After I had that experience, I talk about it was a long time ago. It was last night. It made me think of the hotel sex I have had. And I don't know, it just made me kind of sad a little bit. I don't know why. Maybe I'm depressed. Just kidding. I don't know. It did make me sad when I left. I don't know why.
Sometimes that happens.
Like it wasn't bad, or like it wasn't like I was like shamed about the person. Like I was attracted. We had a good time. I just was like, why did I do this? I guess I don't know.
I always feel that this time of year of like, hook up with someone and then it's kind of like, why did I do that? I'd much rather have sex with my husband.
Maybe it's achievement-based identity issues.
Yeah, trying to conquer the world
Something
through
bigger.
Sexual prowess. But
Maybe.
Hotel sex is the best sex. But I also might be biased because when I think hotel sex, I think of when me and my husband go on road trips and we fuck in every hotel room we stay at.
Yeah.
And that's great sex.
Like each other or other people or both?
Each other.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have had a very good share of experiences in the hotel rooms, and anyone who knows and travels with me, I will always get my own hotel room, no matter what, because one, I get tapped out on social actions very quickly, and I have to have like alone space. Like I cannot be around people 24/7. Like I
feel like also like sharing a hotel room with your friends is like more chill when you're younger.
There's very few people that I like travel really well with that I would want to spend that much time around. And I have, and I'm fine with it, but I prefer that. But also it's just so that I can be
have liaisons.
A sluzzy little lady in the sluzzy little lady in the big cities. Yeah.
Love the term sluzzy.
Sluzzy. I don't know if that's real, but
well, I think that's going to be our t-shirt design.
Sluzzy lady.
Yeah. Sluzzy little lady.
Sluzzy little lady. What's the craziest thing you've ever done in a hotel room? Doesn't have to be sexual.
Broken a bed before.
Oh my God. Welcome to a weekend as a large person. Who hasn't broken a bed?
Well, this was just from me being annoying and jumping on the bed, and then we heard a snap, and then a piece fell off the frame, and then I just threw it under the bed.
You didn't get caught?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know if I don't think I've broken a bed. What's just actually more shocking than if I would have said I've broken a bed. But
yeah, I don't think I've really done anything too crazy.
You've never like trashed a hotel room and
no,
let the people know that you're a wild man?
No, I'm a good boy.
Yeah, I've never done anything like that either.
Do we get a hotel room just to trash it?
Yeah. Who do we know that works at a hotel that would be responsible for cleaning it up?
I know many people who work at multiple hotels in town.
Okay.
I think we have to go to like a different town. Use fake names. We can wear fake mustaches.
I don't think we can use fake names.
Yeah.
They're so particular now.
Yeah.
We could probably find like oh my gosh. Have you ever stayed at a like motel or hotel where you have paid by the hour?
No.
Or like where you could pay in cash still for it?
Yeah.
We one time, gosh, that's probably like at least 10 years ago now. My friend Marcus, it was his birthday party and he wanted to, I don't know why the hell, wanted to go to Superior Duluth for his birthday. And it was like 40 of us going. Like it was just wild. 7 of us were drag queens. And speaking of sharing a hotel room, I was sharing a hotel room with Felicia Ashton, our number one guest without being a physical guest on the pod. It was $40 a night to stay there. So if that says anything, and you could pay in cash. And I'm pretty sure there was a woman being attacked in the parking lot when we got there by like her boyfriend. It was really weird.
And you still stayed?
Well, I had no choice. Like I rode up with people. Where was I going to go? Like
a nicer hotel?
Well, I also was really broke at the time. So like $40 was, that's what she had.
Yeah.
And Felicia and I got in our room and I remember I like looked on the floor and there was like M&Ms like crushed into the carpet. And I was like, oh my God. And I remember I like peeled back the like top blanket and there was beef jerky in my bed and a blood stain.
No fucking way.
Yes. And I was just absolutely horrified, but we had no choice but to stay there. So that night we went out to bars and we were all, Felicia and a bunch of us were in drag and whatever. And we had a pretty good time. It was fun. Then we all like got back to the hotel and we ended up on Omegle that night. There was this one guy that was like really into us, and I think it was like me and Felicia talking to him on Omegle or whatever, and she's just he was like wanted to see her Puswana, and she's like, girl, just look away for a second. And I don't know if I can tell the story, so you could edit it out if you want or not, but I think it's funny and she'll probably laugh about it. But so she tucked her goodies behind her and made a Puswana and then undid the Puswana and flashed her, you know what, at him, and then immediately got nexted. So yeah, we were doing some crazy Omegle chatting that night, but that night to sleep, I was horrified. So I slept with like my sweatpants on and I like tucked my sweatpants into my socks and then I like pulled my hood up and like pulled it as tight as I could, and I did not move like this the entire night, and I just laid there. Oh my God, it's thinking about it.
Beef jerky and a blood stain.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I was like, I wonder what happened to them.
Yeah.
We could do like a dragvestigation piece and try and figure it out and take a bag of beef jerky to a hotel room and see what happens.
Just see how crazy the night gets.
Yeah. It sounds like a wild time. A fun hotel experience, I guess.
Yeah, I've never had anything like that. My brother one time had they were staying at a hotel and they found blood on the comforter. But
Mm.
they just went and told the front desk and got a new comforter.
Yeah, I don't think this hotel would have had anything better.
No.
So I think sleeping with the beef jerky was the best option. And you
didn't eat it, did you?
And there was beef jerky in the other bed too, but
Was there actually?
no, her name's Felicia.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Does Felicia listen?
I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll find out.
We're going to leave this in, Felicia, to see if you actually listen to the podcast. And I'm just going to every week, and no one else tell her that knows her.
Yeah.
And every week I'm just going to say some sort of heinous joke about Felicia until she confronts me at the bar about it. I really wonder if she listens.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want you to leave that beef jerky joke in and
I
then
will.
see if she comes for me. This is your, I don't know,
This
warn.
is a dragvestigation.
Yes.
Does Felicia listen to the podcast?
And when will she confront me? And then we could do a whole video about her attacking me at the bar for saying things about her. So next week I'll think of something else to say about her, and we'll just keep seeing until she finally says something.
We did have a couple we had one listener email and one ask Chloe.
Oh.
So should we get into that?
Yeah, we should.
So this comes to us from Rose.
DeWhippicator? Rose DeWhippicator?
No.
Okay.
Who is that?
Oh my God. From the Titanic.
Is that her last name?
Yeah.
DeWhippicator?
Yeah.
A dumb last name.
Oh my God.
This comes to us from Rose.
DeWhippicator.
DeWhippicator. Says, hi there, I'm Rose, a straight cis woman nurse practitioner in Redacted. I heard about your podcast on WPR and have been listening to it and enjoying it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm from small town Wisconsin, but have been living and working in Redacted for years. I see patients living with HIV and also those who want to start HIV prevention with PrEP, which means at least 80% of my patients are gay men. I'm wondering if PrEP is widely prescribed in a small town Wisconsin, what that experience is like, how we can increase access. And I find there continues to be a lot of a lack of knowledge on the part of providers and judgment, despite this being approved use for over a decade. Any thoughts? Appreciated. Thank you, Rose, for writing in. So let's talk PrEP. Are you on? Do you care to disclose whether or not you are on the pre-exposure prophylactic?
I do have I was going to say recall, but that's not the right word. What do you do if you say something and you want to redact? I want to redact Rose DeWhippicator because technically her last name would be Rose Dawson. But
would you, Travis from the future, want to correct?
Travis from the future, please know that she took the last name Dawson because Jack died in the ocean and no one knew who she was, so she started a new life. And I find that very beautiful.
Anyway.
Okay, so let's just get into some truth, shall we?
Yeah.
I guess maybe like a little bit of vulnerability. That wasn't right, and I just let it happen.
Yep.
Vulnerability. I am not on PrEP. One, for the longest time, I'm self-employed. I own my own business, so I just didn't know if there was access to it. Again, we do live in a small town where it's just not something people talk about. So I never really knew if there was access to it, especially as someone who had very limited insurance coverage and things like that. I just never thought it would be accessible to me. But I did, anytime there was a chance to do HIV testing or anything like that, I would always do that. And anytime I felt like I was at risk of exposure, I would do that. I feel like this could be a really ignorant statement, and it very well could be. So if it is, please let me know. But I don't really do as much penetrative sex. Not that you can't get it through oral sex, but I feel like it's a little less of a
lower chance.
Yes. So there's that. And yeah, just ignorance of never feeling like I needed to be on it for some weird reason. So recently I did take one of those, I think it's through Mister maybe, to do it. And the kit is sitting in there for me to do it. But I just haven't in no particular reason, but I also, I have no particular reason not to be doing it, but I just haven't. So, and I don't have a good excuse. That's all I can really say on it. I guess I just like have been really ignorant to it.
Maybe we should have said it up top because we do have like a fair number of straight listeners who might not know. PrEP is pre-exposure prophylactic, which is an anti-HIV medication that when taken as directed can be like 99% effective at preventing you from contracting HIV, which on the interview we did with Northern Spirit Radio, Spirit in Action, I had a very impassioned speech about PrEP and access to PrEP and HIV prevention and treatment that is currently being threatened by the current administration. So you should go check that out. We'll post the links to that interview when we get them. Yeah, that's what PrEP is, and that's what we're talking about. I'm on PrEP, and it was, so Rose in her email said that there's still a lot of like judgment and stigma, which I do feel, because I got on PrEP a couple years ago, and the doctor, that first doctor that prescribed it to me was like great. He was a straight doctor, but he was super cool. Dr. Bobo, shout out. He doesn't listen, I'm sure. But
Dr. Bobo,
dude was great, and he got he didn't really know much about it and what the regimen is, but like he figured it out. He got me on it. He was great. He was like a student or whatever, because we have like a student hospital basically in Eau Claire. So like medical residency, whatever. I don't really know how it works. I think it's like Scrubs. You remember that show?
I like know of it, but I never watched it.
So I think it's like a Scrubs situation where like recently graduated doctors from doctor school come and they work at Mayo Clinic in Eau Claire.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah. So he finished his residency or whatever the fuck. So he left, and the doctor that came after, like, he just seems like a little less comfortable with it. Not that he has like done anything terrible or that he's like, a bad doctor. I like to joke that my doctor slut shames me for being on PrEP now, because low key, that's kind of how it feels sometimes from him. And I don't know his name, so I can't even give him a shout out. But yeah, I'm on PrEP. Most insurances currently will say this information is current as of February 4th, 2025, because we don't know what the landscape is going to be like in the future. Most insurances cover it because it is a preventative, and they'll save money in the long run if you don't get it. A lot of insurance cover it to a point of getting it low cost, and then as far as like access to it, when if you aren't lucky enough to have insurance, there are ways, like if you go to your local county or city health department website, a lot of times they will have low to no cost. I'm going to say low to no cost because I think usually it is more low cost than no cost, but sometimes it is no cost. They'll have low to no cost testing available for not just HIV, but other STDs. And they do have ways to access or to get you access to PrEP for a reduced cost. I think the most with my insurance I've ever paid for it is like $35 for a round of PrEP, which is pretty neat.
And you know what you can do for that?
What?
Sit in a hotel room in a chair while a man jerks off on his bed.
Yes, you can.
And you can get $35 yourself, folks. And if you can't, let me know and I will go to a hotel room and do it for you.
Yep. I will pay you $35 to... I'm not even going to jerk off at you.
You'll just give it to him.
I'll just give it, but you have to like contact me. We have to go to a hotel room and then like, I don't know, hang out. But then you have to use that $35 to buy me beer, which eliminates the point of me giving you $35 to get PrEP.
Yeah, it's something I really should be better and more diligent about, but just haven't. I don't have like a really good excuse or anything. I don't know why.
Well, if you are curious about access to PrEP, go to your, not everyone is in Eau Claire. We hope not everyone is in Eau Claire. We want a broader reach for this podcast, but contact your local health department about STD, STI, HIV testing, and they might be able to point you in the right direction. But then there are things like HIMSS or Mr. or whatever.
Yeah.
Those programs that often are also selling you Viagra, which I think is interesting that's a very big thing on the internet right now, is different providers of off-brand Viagra. Some of those have ways to get you PrEP as well. So Do your research. It'll vary by municipality, but I feel like a lot of people in our town are on PrEP, or at least claim to be in their Grindr bios. I mean, there's access for it. If you have insurance, it's easier, obviously, but even if you don't, there's ways. That's what we'll say about PrEP. We have a Dear Chloe. Dear Chloe, I started talking to a faceless profile with a nice body on one of the apps recently. We got to chatting, exchanged some ... pics ... and then I asked for a face. Turned out I was talking to my ex, but none of the stats in his profile matched. Specifically, his age was listed as 7 years younger than he is. I immediately ghosted, but didn't block. Now he keeps hitting me up. I have no interest in rekindling anything with this person, and although many would say he's conventionally attractive, after the history we have, I just don't see it anymore. I see my options as follows. 1, block his ass and never speak of this again. 2, keep responding until I have to show face. Parentheses, not a fan of this because it feels just as devious as his incorrect stats. 3, kindly tell him it's me and see what happens. Or 4, tell him it's me and drag his ass for the false stats. When I find myself confronted with life's difficult situations, I often ask myself, what would Chloe do? I'm hoping you can help me in my moment of need now. Sincerely, not quite as young, but still dumb and still full of cum.
Ooh. Well, I'm glad that you often think to what I would do.
WWKD.
That is an actual merch. I want to get those bracelets, like the old WWJD bracelets. So we're working on that.
Strangehavenstudios.com/merch.
Oh,
it's not there yet,
okay.
but that's where it will be when we have merch.
Yeah. Okay. What I want you to do, catfish this person with really horrible edited photos, though, because clearly you've exchanged photos of yourself, your body, just not your face. So you should like get one of your photos of your body and then just like catfish, like, or like photo crop. Like you could put a picture of me on there. Yeah, actually do my picture. Take a picture, like one of the, actually, I think I know who this is.
You do.
And I know you have a really heinous picture of me where I look like an egg. And because I was getting ready in drag, and you should Photoshop that over your face in the picture and then send that to him, like, but put that same picture on a bunch of different of your body nudes and send that to him, and then not just be really it, because that'll spook him enough for he'll never
block you.
Yeah, he'll block you for sure. You don't ever have to worry about it. So that's probably the most sane advice I can give you. Calling this particular person out on their age probably isn't going to make a difference. I think they like the delusional world that they live in. And you know what? It makes it entertaining for the rest of us too. So I like that they live in that world. I need to get on Sniffies. I'm going to dragvestigate this week on
You're going to
Sniffies.
dragvestigate Sniffies?
Yeah, I'm going to do it strictly for research, not for any personal gain or enjoyment.
No other reason.
And if you are being naughty on there, I'm going to find out.
Apparently it's a common thing on Sniffies because it wasn't me, it was my husband was talking with someone who had like that he was 18 and like a twink, but he was like very, very clearly like a 29-year-old ginger. God, I don't remember the exact situation, but it was a dude who was claiming to be like 18. And then my husband found out he was like in his 30s.
That's so bizarre.
Yeah. I don't get why people, never mind. I do get why people do it.
What I need you to do for me this week for my dragvestigation on Sniffies and the Chippewa Valley is I need you to take a picture of me and just like, you know, like those, remember when people used to really do like the bad Photoshop where you could like really tell like they had a really like super thin waist.
Yeah.
And like, I just want you to distort the shit out of me. And I'm going to put that as my, I don't know, do you get a profile on there? Yeah, I'm going to put that as my profile. And I want to see what happens.
So you're going to do super, super skinny waist, like poorly photoshopped.
Yeah, like I want a Nicki Minaj butt and like
how old is your profile going to be?
I don't know. What should we do?
23.
23? Okay.
23.
Can you make it look like I have really big muscles too, like on my arms, but then just like a really snatched ass, like but like obnoxiously like Violet Chachki snatched waist.
Yep.
And then like big fucking gargantuan watermelon popping thighs. And then but then I want my face to be like just that normal like fat face. Maybe we could Photoshop my hair off too or something. I don't know.
Just give you a bald cap, basically.
Yeah. Maybe some weird teeth. And then I'm going to find out what's going on in this town.
I can't wait for this Photoshop job. It's going to be so much fun.
I'm going to find out what's happening in the Chippewa Valley on Sniffies. And I'm going to get to the bottom of this behavior because I think you guys need someone to chaperone what's happening in this town.
It's a cesspool.
I just can't believe it. I also can't believe that I haven't been on it.
Yeah, that's actually really surprising to me.
It's time.
Actually, okay, Sniffies in this town is not that much of a cesspool only because of a lack of people. But if you go to Minneapolis or Milwaukee or big city and there's just cum dumps and all that stuff, happens more often than you think. There are also more cruising locations around here than you think.
I know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna then I could go. We should do pieces where I go to the cruising spots, like a journalist thing, and you just come running out of the bushes with a camera.
Excuse me, sirs, what are you doing?
Wouldn't that be great? I could do it. Yeah, dragvestigation pieces, and I'm just an
you
undercover.
Have to be in drag though.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm being really hag drag, a garage door lid and a really I was gonna say a fucked up wig, but just one of my wigs. And
oh god. This actually dovetails very nicely into another idea. So one of the other projects I'm working on is the paranormal podcast. So also, if you have a paranormal story you would like to share with me, you can email smalltownbiggays@gmail.com or DM me on Instagram at chance____Smith. That's 3 underscores, chance___Smith. Anyway, I would like to take you Bigfoot hunting. But in full drag the entire time.
Yes.
So you're just clomping around.
Yes. And some heels.
I just think that would be fantastic content.
Down. Yeah. Yeah, we'll start doing some live action reporting in this town, I think. I think I want to become the Judy Clark of the drag world.
I think you should become the Nancy Grace of the drag world.
Yeah, I guess maybe shoot for the stars, but I'm just shooting for
mid-level.
Yeah.
I want to become the Geraldo.
The Geraldo?
Yeah.
I think you could with the mustache.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think we talked about a lot this episode.
We did. We went all over the place.
A lot of good and bad things, and editing will be fun for you.
It always is.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Small Town Big Gays is hosted by Travis Gorell and me, Chance Smith. Production and editing is by me, Chance. Our music is 1am by TYB. You can check out his music. Links are in the episode description. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at STBG Pod. Links to those and our own social medias can be found in the episode description as well. Tell us what you want to hear about on future episodes or write into Dear Chloe by emailing smalltownbiggays@gmail.com. And do me a favor, check out Slay What with Bree and Ariel, the new horror podcast I'm producing. You can go to strangehavenstudios.com for more on that and everything else I'm getting up to. Okay, bye.